Good evening, boys and girls. I'm Michael Devon. You're watching Whitesnake TV. I am guesting on this episode, all things bacon. We're going to talk about Whitesnake. We're going to talk about the new album, and we're going to talk about the love of bacon.
My love of bacon.
Yeah, Reb's love of bacon. Joel's on the fence about bacon.
Yeah.
So, speaking of which, Joel, I would like to welcome you to the family, the madhouse of Whitesnake.
Yeah.
Pleasure. Let's start off by tell me about yourself, man. Tell me about what started you off in music.
My parents were classical musicians, or are classical musicians, so music was always around the house. They had me playing cello and piano at a very young age, and eventually I found my way to listening to AC/DC, and that made a switch go in my mind that said, I want to play rock guitar, and I've never looked back since.
Did you ever learn ELO tunes?
No.
Damn.
Never.
That'd be a cool cello gig, man.
It would.
Yes, it would. What, Reb? Say it.
Why the heck would he learn ELO tunes? He's a guitar player.
Because he was a classically trained cellist as a child.
But on guitar, though.
No, he learned cello and piano.
He learned
just
cello?
said.
Oh, I wasn't listening.
Dude, I was...
We're here. We're here.
Okay. All right, I'm here.
This guy. Reb.
What?
You tell me, you answer the same question for me, Reb. Let's get you involved in this. Come on, man.
Okay, sorry. All right.
When you were a child,
Yeah?
were you dropped often?
Dropped? I think I was. I know that I swam out into the middle of the lake when I was like 3, and I grabbed onto this log, and somehow I survived. They said I floated there for some time. You know, and my mom, I was such a quiet kid that she left me in one of those for a couple of hours. And I was fine, you know, just staring, looking around.
Reb's first high. All right. But I have a more pointed question for you.
Oh, okay.
What was the first song that you recall? Because I know, like, when we listen to music a lot, you're like, oh, and it's Layla playing. You're like, what's that?
Yeah.
What was the first song you recall? And was it by a popular band, or was it by, like, what was it?
The Last Train to Clarksville by the Monkees.
Oh, okay.
I had a Monkees record, and then Creedence.
CCR.
Yeah, and then CCR. See, I was one of those kids who got all my records from my older sister and brother. And so, you know, when they were into, like, all of that kind of Monkees stuff, I was listening to that, and then they got into hipper stuff. My brother got into, like, Poco and Longas and Messina and all that really good southern rock.
The California sound.
The California sound.
Yeah.
The Beach Boys, I was really into that when I was a kid. I was really young, you know. And then Aerosmith came out and changed the whole thing. And then I saw Kiss live, and that's when I knew, like, I want to be that. That's just what I want to be, and I'm doing it. And I was voted most likely to be a guitar hero, or a rock star in my, book,
Yearbook?
that thing.
We're accentuating the high in high school for Reb, I'm sure of
Big
it.
time.
So, Reb, what would you be doing if you were not a rock god? What would you do?
I'd make sandwiches.
Would you add lots of bacon to those sandwiches?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a really good sandwich maker.
So maybe like you'd own a deli, Reb's Deli?
Oh, gosh, that would
All
be
right.
great.
I like that's got a good sound.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I would trust you around all that raw meat, though, but that's
I
all
wear
right.
gloves. But, when I worked at a sandwich shop in Florida, everyone used to request my sandwiches. Like, hey, I want that guy to make my sandwich. And it turns out that I used a little more meat than everybody else.
Hey, you got a little more meat than everybody else. What are you going to do?
Yeah. Well,
There are worse problems they have in life.
The owner told me to stop doing that.
Fascinating, Reb. Thank you.
Good
Thank
stuff,
you.
huh?
Joel, what are some of your earliest musical memories? I know that your parents were classically trained, so I'm sure you had a lot of classical music around. There's probably some opera, too, kicking in there, right?
A little bit.
Maybe a little ragtime, maybe?
Yeah, a lot of piano.
Maybe some
around,
jazz
around
in
the
there?
house as kids. No.
Some Gregorian chant?
No, not so much of that. I mean, my parents were both playing the piano all the time, and it sounds like saying I was classically trained on the cello at a young age was like pretty incorrect. I mean, I was like up to like Old MacDonald Had a Farm.
Oh, okay.
But I do have the recollection of that being my first gig. Technically, it was like being in preschool and having my cello out, sitting in, back when they had what was called line time, where all the kids sat in a circle on this
Yeah, yeah.
line,
Oh.
and I had to get the cello out and like go sit in the middle and play Old MacDonald Had a Farm for the class.
Was
And
that the song?
I believe so. And I was so nervous. I remember just being like, which of the Brady girls froze up on television, But I felt like that, like, oh my God, it was my first bout of stage fright, I think.
High pressure situation.
Yeah.
Preschool.
On that farm, Reb, he had a pig.
Yeah.
Which
how did
eventually
you do
became
oink, oink?
bacon. So what was your first, as far as rock music goes, what was some of the albums that were coming in when you were a kid that were really influential for you?
Definitely Back in Black was huge. The first time I heard that was what made me want to start rock guitar. And early on, it was pretty much just all metal for me. I really liked all the Black Sabbath records, Ozzy records. Those were out and fresh at the time, and Iron Maiden. And then I started to gravitate more towards bands that just had talent. Period. More melodic acts like Boston or Journey, and
Don't
certainly
tell David about Boston.
God, yeah, he does.
certainly progressive bands like Rush and Yes were big influences. And
Red doesn't mean limelight, right?
I do?
Yeah, the Getty.
Living in the limelight, the universal dream.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like living in the limelight. I just love the way some of those people sang, like the guy in the cars was, I don't mind you coming here. That kind of like Michael Stipe kind of thing.
Dig it. But I digress. I'm sorry. So you Back in Black, some metal music. Now, as far as the guitar, like that was your first, as soon as you jumped on board on guitar, that was it, right? Do you have any other instruments that you dig playing? Is that it?
no, really, I struggle enough on guitar. If I take up another one, I'm just going to be worse, I think. So,
But you sing. You sing.
yeah, oh sure. I mean, I love to tinker on other instruments and whatnot. I love to play some drums or a little bass or a little piano still. But it's really all about guitar for me, and trying to get good.
Yeah.
I think you've done that, sir.
Yeah. You're playing on this new album is pretty amazing, man. Right, Red?
Oh, man.
I mean, it's kick-ass. It's killer.
Oh, dude,
you're
thank
insane.
you, man. Thank
You're
you.
insane.
And tell me
That Reb Beach just said that, by the way.
Tell me about the experience of working on the new album, man. Was it, did you have a good time?
Dude, it's a dream come true for me. Really, I feel like at this point in time in my life, it's really the thing that I would like to be doing. To have an opportunity to work with David, who's rock royalty and such an open-minded, kick-ass musician, and just gives me an opportunity to be myself and express who I am as a player, and that's totally much appreciated. And to get the opportunity to really work with a bunch of badass players like yourself, it's an honor for me, and I just plan on making the most of it.
Cool. Did you dig into these albums, the Deep Purple stuff? Were you familiar with it? Like, what was...
I was familiar with it, but loosely, so I definitely went back, and before we did any now I'm going to put my own spin on things kind of thing, I just listened to the catalog for a month. I just walked around everywhere with it on all the time just to digest it all, and which I was awesome. It really made me reconnect with this material and have a greater appreciation for it in the end,
Mm-hmm. Good answer.
Yeah.
That's a solid answer.
Solid answer. Don't ask me that. After that answer, what do you say after that?
Reb,
what he said.
Reb, I know though, Reb, you came in psyched to be playing this stuff. You were calling me on the phone, wetting yourself, but not for this reason, for other reasons.
Oh, yeah.
It was late at night. But you do love the Blackmore stuff and John Lord. You were really digging this, the original album. So I know that you did your homework and all that stuff. But how important is it for you to try to preserve some of what the past brought in those albums to the present? Because you are co-producing this album, are you not?
Yeah, I am. And it's, for me, it's really important, for a couple of reasons. One, there are certain parts in the music that have to be there, like that thing in Burn, you know, that's got to be there. And I think the fans would bum out if you took that out, you know. And we're keeping that. The theme of this whole thing is to just, you know, it's like a hats off. That's the other thing, you know. We want to make it a little bit, you know, hats off to you. If we do something that's on the original, that's kind of what it is. Like, you know, by the way, hats off to John Lord and Richie Blackmore for, you know, writing these incredible parts.
So if you're inserting yourself in places where you feel it's okay to do so.
It's kind of like I did when I was in Dawkins. You know, I don't play like George Lynch, but there were a few licks he did that you have to do. So I just did, you know, Red Beach does George Lynch. As on this record, I'm doing kind of Red Beach does Richie Blackmore, but it's you know, there's the Red Beachy part, and there's the Richie Blackmore-y part, you know, wailing on one string, you know, that's Richie's thing, but I had to do it because it's too cool.
Wow. I guess it really is too cool.
It's such
exclamation
only
point.
he did that. He's the only guy that did that.
It's true. The very signature outro lick in the solo of Smoke on the Water. It's very,
that freaks you out, man.
Yeah, very quintessential Richie Blackmore. You know, man, I don't know. What else can we talk about? Can we talk about bacon? Who said bacon? If there's life on other planets, do they eat bacon? Red Beach, go.
Well, you'd need pigs. You know, it'd have to be turkey bacon or whatever kind of, you know, other animal they have there. You know, but bacon is the best food in the world. I mean, there's not a lot of people that don't really love bacon. You know, you two are a big exception. You know, vegetarian guys. I eat bacon every morning.
We know you smell up the entire studio.
Yeah, I know.
The house smells like dead pig every time we come here.
Nothing.
I hear the squeals. It's like Silence of the Lambs when I come in here. The pigs, the sows. Do you hear the screaming of the sows, Clarice?
I can't believe this.
Yeah.
Qui pro quo.
Apparently, Hook City's on the way out, and Dead Pig is in.
It's salty and delicious.
You
you.
I think we need to get David Coverdale
Get
out
David
here,
Coverdale
man. I
in
hear him
here,
in there.
man.
He's getting itchy. He wants to interview. Can I interview you one-on-one later? He said, "Eat me, kids." He said, "Eat me."
Eat me.
Yeah. What do you do in your spare time to relax, Reb?
I'm a movie buff. What really relaxes me is going to see like a kid's movie, like a Pixar kind of.
Whoa. I'm just,
No, but I go in the matinee like when they're all in school, you know, so it's just me and the Pixar movie, you know.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and I eat popcorn.
Do you sit in the way back?
I bring beer in with me in my
So you wear
pockets.
like a rain jacket? You wear like an overcoat and a hat?
No.
You sit in the last row?
Oh man,
What's going on here, Reb?
there's no one else in the movie theater.
This might be incriminating footage, man. We're just gonna have to
Children and beer.
technical difficulty.
They go together.
Okay, so you go to Pixar movies in your spare time to relax.
Yeah, they're relaxing because it's a no-brainer.
No, they're really good movies, but usually you're accompanied by children and
No,
the mom and
No, I go
You don't
alone.
usually
I go
go
alone.
like at the midnight showing of Frozen in an overcoat filled with Coors Light and some weird hat on, you know. All right,
Yeah, no,
man.
that's not how it goes down, man. And I hated Frozen, by the way.
You did?
It was all singing.
Yeah,
you
there's
know,
a lot of singing.
I wanted to see the funny little snowman.
A lot of singing.
Yeah.
Yeah. My girlfriend's little girl loves that movie. It's a phenomenon for the kids.
You should drink with her. sometime.
You should. Maybe you should invite her. It'll normalize the situation a little bit. Sit in the front, you know. Move
No,
up.
I like action movies. I really like
Yeah.
movies. That's what relaxes me the most.
Yeah, you're a big movie buff. I do know.
Yeah, and I play video games. I'm a gamer,
Mm-hmm.
which Kip Winger says that's a good use of your time. Yeah, it really is a waste, complete waste of time. But it's fun. If you can immerse yourself in that world, you can get pretty lost. You know, you look at the clock and go, "My God, I've been here for an hour."
Sometimes late at night we hear David's son Jasper.
Oh yeah. Oh, you
Die!
and me. Yeah.
Die! You know, he's immortal. You know, yeah.
I have you now.
Yeah, it's funny.
And then you can
He's so
see out
immersed.
the window like these explosions. You know.
Yeah. Joel, what about you, man? What do you do in your spare time to relax? I know you're a pretty busy guy. You have a pretty busy schedule these days, and you know. But what do you do?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of what I do is just keeping up with all my other gigs and whatnot. But when I get time away, I'm a big NBA fan for sure. I love basketball.
Because you're so short, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Do you play basketball?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
I want you on my team.
I grew up in the Chicago area, so Michael Jordan, you know, Scottie Pippen, and all that. So, you know, growing up there, you get definitely involved in.
Yeah, they were a
and,
hot
still-
team for
still-
a long time.
You know,
man.
still follow the Bulls, and so that's a big thing. And I do like baseball as well, and still follow the Chicago area teams. I follow the Cubs. I grew up with them, and that's the opposite. You know, just waiting my whole life for even one trip to the World Series.
The ultimate
much less, you know.
underdog. It was
Yeah.
them and the Boston Red Sox, but we.
Yeah, the Red Sox shed
we
the Bambino
won.
curse,
Yeah.
and but we're still waiting on our curse of the goat curse. or whatever, you know.
1919, what was it?
1908 is the last
1908.
time the Cubs have won a World Series. In 1945, since the last World Series. It's,
Wow, the big one.
yeah.
The big wash, eh? World War II.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah. The big one.
That's back when the Cubs won, you see? They were in the series.
Give me a steak and a cigarette, eh? So, okay, baseball.
So, yeah, sports, I
basketball,
guess. And movies a bit.
sports.
Movies a bit.
Yeah.
You know, when I get time, sure.
Do you go to midnight viewings of Pixar movies?
Yeah,
and sit on the
Reb
far
was
back
kind
with
enough to give me a
raincoat on?
jacket just like his with a couple Coors Lights in there.
A couple
you know?
Coors
and
Lights,
then,
couple
yeah.
of strips of bacon.
It's the Reb Beach
says all
White
things
Snake
bacon.
jacket, I believe, this year we'll be selling on tour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't really get time to go to the theater.
The theater.
As often. Well, to a movie theater.
Yeah.
I know, the theater.
Yeah.
But I certainly enjoy a good movie and sports, and just a regular dude, man.
Great, man. That's cool. Good answer. Good answer, man. Would you, anything in closing you guys would like to say? Because I think we got to wrap this up.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I'm happy to sit here with you all day long, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. No. I think we should wrap it up.
You know what I'm saying? Like you guys are kind of running out of interesting things to say.
Oh, is that what you're trying to say?
Thank you very much
Thank you, Michael.
for being gracious on this episode of Whitesnake TV, All Things Bacon. I'm Michael Devin, and we wish you well. Have a good night, kiddies, boys and girls. David, we love you, babe. Peace and love.
Love you, David.